Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. Great news. It's time once again to continue our journey aboard the NCC 1701D as we watch Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 1, Episode 10, Hide and Q. And friends, this is one of the very first intros I have done after having watched the episode because so many of you reached out and warned me that specific episodes would have titles that would spoil my experience. And so armed with these episode numbers, I was able to actually shield myself until actually starting the episode and watching Hide and Q. So why don't we watch it again, friends? If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for The Next Generation or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear, dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and what is now? Now it's time for Hide and Q, the 10th episode of the very first season of the one and only Star Trek: The Next Generation. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go.
Having dropped off Counselor Troy at Starbase
No.
G6 for a shuttle visit home,
We need Troy.
transmitted an urgent call for medical help. An accidental explosion devastated a mining operation there.
Upon arrival, identify the most critically injured and beam them up to cargo base suits.
Dr. Crusher, this is the captain.
I really wish I knew the systems and planets better to see if we were going back to somebody place in TOS.
Are you prepared for that many, Doctor?
We believe so, sir.
Captain, we are now at warp 9.1, sir.
You're crazy.
The cause may be a methane-like gas.
Force field out there of some kind. It's almost...
Oh my God.
It is identical to the grid we encountered when...
It reads solid, sir.
Reversing power, sir.
Not now. Damn it, Q.
Shields and deflectors up, sir.
So it is Q. For a second, I thought that we were in the web, the Tholian web.
Humans, I thought by now that you would have scampered back to your own little star system.
No, Worf. No.
We are on a mission of rescue to where a group of badly injured...
We of the Q have studied our recent contact with you and are impressed.
Are those Cobras?
Urgent journey. Once that is completed, then perhaps...
You will abandon that mission, Captain. If my magnificence blinds you, then perhaps something more familiar.
Is that
Starfleet Admiral Q at your service.
what they look like? Like three-headed cobra, black and red cobra? Interesting. Okay, so special thanks to everybody. Just so you know, several people on YouTube and Patreon warned me that there are certain titles of The Next Generation that are spoilers unto themselves. And so I was able to fire, excuse me, I was able to fire this one up without having seen it. So the Q shock is indeed okay.
To explore strange new worlds.
Seasonal allergies, they are fantastic.
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
So we don't have Troy. I'm going to try not to take too many notes because I'm always looking down and I don't like that. But no Troy is a big one. That would be interesting to go from having Troy for all of these things to not having her. It would almost be like removing one of your senses. You know, all of these kind of inputs that you were used to getting. How are the other people feeling? What are their actions? Are they being deceptive? Yada, yada, yada. And then not having that sort of like information flow, that would be tough. That would be tough to go back to.
Our rescue mission to the Sigma 3 solar system has been halted by an immense grid.
Yeah, that would have given it away. Hide and Q.
You're no Starfleet Admiral Q.
Neither am I an Aldebaran serpent, Captain, but you accepted me as such.
Well, he's got us there, Captain.
Okay, so that's not.
On our way to help some suffering and dying humans who...
Your species is always suffering and dying. No, Lieutenant Worf. You'll make no move against him unless I order it.
Delancey is really tall.
When this rescue is completed, I am prepared to listen carefully to whatever proposal you wish to make.
Foolish human value. Why do you distrust me so?
Why?
Why?
You condemned all humans as savages. And on that charge, you tried us in a post-atomic 21st century court of horrors where you attacked my people. You again seized my vessel.
And that angered you.
Serialization.
Used my vessel.
You interfered with our Farpoint mission. You threatened to convict us as ignorant savages. Powerful and complex life form, we made the slightest mistake.
The Q became interested in you. No one here understands your incredible good fortune. Seized my vessel.
I mean, Riker's tall, but look at him. I know that's perspective there, but...
What do you make of my offer?
We don't have time for these games.
Games? Did someone say game? And perchance for interest.
Oh, no.
A deadly game? To the game.
Where are we?
I mean, where the hell are we?
Gravity and oxygen within our limits.
Twin moons. Where are we?
Considering the power demonstrated by Q the last time,
Anywhere.
anywhere. Assuming this place even exists.
So if they're playing a game, hide and Q.
He's imaginative. Apparently our captain wasn't meant to be here with us.
Security, this is the captain. Security?
Is there anyone on the ship?
Engineering, this is the bridge.
We've got families and kids on here, too. Or was he taken maybe somewhere like a mock-up? Yeah, it's not opening. Remember that shot when we were in that space beyond space when he opened it up and there's the turbo lift was like just a shaft? Wasn't that in Next Generation? Like a void?
Join me, Riker. A good game needs rules and planning.
Oh boy.
Nothing reveals humanity so well as the games it plays. Actually, you reveal yourselves best in how you play.
Sir, what he has in mind might provide us with vital information.
Seasonal allergies. They're fantastic. Care for a Fresca?
Incredible. I was just thinking about an old-fashioned lemonade. What about my people?
Whatever they'd like, of course.
Everybody has something different. Worf is like, you could take your drink and shove it up your ass.
Explain something of why you defeated them.
You're still fascinated with the human past. Perhaps you're not that original.
It's the human future which intrigues us and should concern you the most. You see, of all the species, yours cannot abide stagnation.
This is so Trelane with the military outfit.
Change into what? That's the question.
That is what humans call a truism.
You mean hardly original?
This is from Europe's Napoleonic era, sir. This is a campaign headquarters tent. His uniform is that of a French army marshal.
And a marshal outranks even an admiral.
Huh.
But Napoleonic equipment on an alien planet, one so different, it has twin moons.
Well, as you said, I'm nothing if not imaginative. And the game should reflect that.
Okay.
But it needs risk.
If we must play a game, what would we win?
The greatest possible. Can any of you stay alive?
If your game is fair.
Oh, for shame, Worf. Think imaginatively. This game shall in fact be completely unfair.
You've gone too far.
Game penalty. Penalty box, where she will remain unharmed unless one of you merits a penalty. Unfortunately, there's only one penalty box. If any of you should be sent there, dear Tasha must give the box up to you.
And where does she go?
Right.
I entreat you to carefully obey the rules of the game. The only one who can destroy your Tasha now is you.
It's you. Okay, so we have to play an unfair game with Tasha's life on the line. I didn't think she said anything that was so inflammatory it required a penalty box. I mean, I'm pretty sure Worf should have been put in there first. He made like direct confrontational notes, but...
Captain's log. Captain's log.
Oh, well, not even that.
I wish I could help you, Captain.
Where is everyone else?
Down on some planet.
Some planet. What are you doing?
What are you doing here?
One more penalty by anyone, and I'm gone. Frustrating to be controlled like this.
Lieutenant,
Is this legitimate?
don't worry. There is a new ship standing order on the bridge. When one is in the penalty box, tears are permitted.
Huh.
Consorting with lower rank females, Captain? Especially ones in penalty boxes? But then again, you're what? You're only human.
I'm not sure. I don't like her crying. I'm just going to take it like this might be a trick anyway.
A Marshal of France. Ridiculous.
Speaking for Captain Jean-Luc Picard, who we consider to be too bound by Starfleet customs and traditions to be useful to us. The Enterprise is now helpless.
Oh, that's why he wasn't taken down.
Whose real intent is to test whether the first officer is worthy of the greatest gift the Q can offer.
So you're taking on Riker this time?
Yeah.
Shall we wager on that, Captain?
Sure.
Your Starship Command against...
Against your keeping out of humanity's path. Done?
Done. You've already lost, Picard. Riker will be offered something impossible to refuse.
My money's on Will. If it's take something for personal gain and sacrifice anything of the crew, he's never going to do it. I've known him for 9+ episodes. It's not happening.
Uh-oh.
They're sending Worf out. Worf is an army of one Klingon gang. It's a Tellarite.
You seem to have some need for humans.
Concern regarding them.
But whatever it is, why do you demonstrate?
Why? Concern.
And I'm surprised you have to ask when your human Shakespeare explained it all so well.
So you did, but don't depend too much on any one single
It's a pity you
viewpoint.
don't know the content of your own library. Hear this, Picard, and reflect. Galaxy is a stage.
World, not galaxy. All the world's a stage.
He's making changes.
A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard, full of sound and fury,
Signifying nothing.
A real life, this tale told by an idiot. Interesting, Q.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Perhaps maybe a little...
He's being genuine here a little bit.
And what he might say with irony, I say with conviction. What a piece of work is man.
Ha.
In form, in moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god.
Surely you don't see your species like that, do you?
I see us one day becoming that. Is it that?
They
which
see it
concerns
too. Yep, that's it. That's it. They see the possibility.
Those soldiers are formed a skirmishing line, I think you'd call it. And they're headed this way.
Armed with ancient ball and powder muskets.
That's what their weapons look like, sir.
Do our phasers work?
Just one of our hand phasers could finish off an entire regiment.
Except for one thing. It hardly sounds like Q to give us an advantage like that.
Yeah, try shooting it. Oh, okay, it works.
Drop your weapons!
I'm afraid that was me, Worf.
You came out of nowhere.
A warrior's reaction.
I love Worf. I love Worf.
But what's inside of them isn't human at all. More like vicious animal things.
Oh, really? I thought that was it. Okay.
Those soldiers are moving in fast, sir.
If you've got a theory about what's happening,
Think fast, Commander Riker.
Oh, no.
those aren't muskets.
Wow, nice shooting.
Send them back to the ship. Send them the same way I do. Do you understand? I have given you the power of the Q.
What?
Use your power.
I mean, try it. I don't know how to do it. Snap your fingers. They're going to say, we'll let you keep the power. Yep. All those banks just lit up.
Engineering are all systems back online.
Back online, sir? They were never off.
Where are we?
You'd better look at this. There's been no interruption in course or speed. Both have remained constant.
What about time?
Where's Commander Riker?
He must still be on the planet. We were under attack by these animal things.
Animal things?
I suspect that Commander Riker is probably perfectly safe, at least in a physical sense. Q has an interest. In fact, Q's entire visit has something to do with our first officer.
My money's on Will.
Q first became interested in him at Farpoint. I have no idea what it means. Meanwhile, we must proceed with our rescue mission.
Oh, I guess. I mean, we don't know where Will is. I mean...
Something amuses you. Perhaps you'll share the joke with me.
Yeah.
How can you not appreciate being able to send your friends back to their ship? Certainly you must understand that at this moment you can send yourself back to the ship.
He has the same number of pips as Riker this time. Love it.
You want something from us. Desperately. What is it?
Want something from you foolish, fragile non-entities.
Yes.
After Farpoint, I return to where we exist, the Q continuum.
Which means exactly what?
This sounds legit.
Of course you don't. And you never will until you become one of us.
Until?
I mean, this is hardly a time to be teaching you the true nature of the universe.
They want him as a Q?
Eon, have you any idea how far we'll advance?
Perhaps in a future that you cannot yet conceive, even beyond us.
And there it is.
Human need and hunger, that we may better understand it.
I suppose that's meant as a compliment, Q.
No, you're trying to weaponize him.
You're gonna miss me.
Oh, Wesley's here now.
What's going on? I was sitting in school and...
Worf, my phaser's gone. Are you armed?
No.
Worf is the weapon. Yeah, take one of theirs. Oh.
Worf! Worf!
No, Wesley, what are you doing?
No! You did that.
And that's not all.
Wow.
Only the Q can do that.
Wow, this is sort of like where no man has gone before.
Captain's log, stardate 41591.
Little Gary Mitchell action here.
First Officer William T. Riker needs help nearly as badly. Far out of my experience. Out of any human's experience.
Let's not worry about it. I mean, my money's on Riker, but I mean, Gary did go down too. He got compromised.
No one has ever offered to turn me into a god before.
What the Q has offered you has got to be close to immortality, Will. They're not lying about controlling time and space.
Right.
You've also seen it in what I can do. Are you worried that I won't be able to say no to it?
Are you strong enough to refuse to use that power?
Certainly.
This will show so much to both of them.
You have my word.
Good.
Yeah, he'll try to hurt people though.
Ready to beam down rescue team to underground emergency area.
It's a cool looking planet.
This way, sir.
I miss our blue uniforms. We don't have any like principal characters with the blue like uni top on. I mean, I'm assuming Beverly has one on, but she has her jacket on all the time. I miss seeing it. You know, I'm so used to seeing the three colors.
It's just us.
It's a hell of a set.
You're getting close, Data.
So Data is ridiculously strong. Oh no. Careful moving her. Careful moving her.
It's too late. She's dead.
Jesus, man.
I don't understand. Certainly you can't bring her back to life.
I can't. I'm prevented from that.
Oh my God. Well, if you wanted to see if he would abuse the power or use it, I mean, that should tell you right there.
As soon as it's convenient, Captain, I want a meeting with you and your bridge staff.
As soon as we are secure of this rescue operation, I'll discuss all of this new power.
Uh-oh. The bridge looks so much smaller from that viewpoint.
Correction number one. Knowing the decision you face, I've permitted you this gathering.
Of course,
Ooh. Ooh. What are we doing here, Will?
You helped make me a bridge officer. Acting ensign.
All right, he stays.
Is this really Will?
Except for these abilities, and I don't yet know how far they go, I'm the same William T. Riker you've always known.
William T. Riker, get out of town.
Everyone still looks uncomfortable.
Perhaps they're all remembering that old saying, power corrupts.
An absolute power.
Do you believe I haven't thought of that, Jean-Luc?
He's acting like Q.
Let's keep in mind that that particular danger was invented by Q.
What we represent to the Q, Commander, are lowly animals, tormented into performing for their amusement.
You're a danger.
We have a quality of growth which they admire.
Or fear.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Don't you understand his incredible gift to me?
Are these truly your friends, brother?
This guy. This effing guy.
Let us do no such damn thing. What is this need
Uh-huh.
of yours for costumes, Q? Have you no identity of your own?
I come in
Hey.
search of the truth.
Enough with the costume jabs there, Jean-Luc.
He's nothing but a flim-flam, man. He's been that ever since we met him at Farpoint.
Well,
Then it's not yet certain. He's not yet committed.
The truly evil part of all this, Captain, is your jealousy.
huh.
If I gave them something I know they'd like.
Oh, how touching. A plea to his former captain.
So good.
In fact, I authorize and support your idea, Riker. Please, feel free.
Are they working like... I think they're working together on something.
There is no way I could harm any of you. Shall I guess your dreams?
Leave now, Wesley.
Yeah. Get him out of here.
Have your favorite wish, my young friend. You're 10 years older. A man.
Hey, Wes, not bad.
No.
Yeah.
No, sir.
But it's what you've always wanted, Data, to become human.
No, not like this.
Was it not one of the captain's favorite authors who wrote, "This above all, to thine own self be true"?
Be true. Oh my God.
I must decline.
And you, my friend, I know what you want.
Oh, wow. That visor really does make him look different, doesn't it?
You're as beautiful as I imagined. I don't think so, sir. Price is a little too high for me. I don't like who I'd have to thank.
Q don't want to hear this.
Please.
Awesome. Worf. Dear God.
No! She's from a world now alien to me.
Really?
This is sex. But I have no place for it in my life now.
No place, microbrain. What possesses you?
Come up with a better insult, dude. That one's really bad.
If this is because your mother objects.
No.
I just want to get there on my own.
But it's easier, boy. Listen to Riker.
The Q do not want to hear this.
How did you know, sir? I feel like such an idiot.
Quite right. So you should.
So you should.
Pay off your wager.
I recall no wager. No, if I could just do one more thing.
Q, I strongly suspect.
Mom and Dad coming to get you? Yeah, they are. Wow. Yet another test, eh?
Perhaps someday we will discover that space and time are simpler than the human equation.
They've probably forgotten.
You have my coordinates, LaForge.
He's not going to hold it against you.
On the board.
Engage.
Hell of a gambit. Love it. Really, really good one. All right, everybody, we just finished watching Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1, Episode 10, Hide and Q, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished Hide and Q, the 10th episode of the very first season of Star Trek The Next Generation. Okay, so, I mean, this is definitely our first full-blown example of serialization inside Star Trek The Next Gen. We've had hints before. We've had kind of little callbacks and little teases and things like that, and even references to things that we've seen transpire. But at the same time, this was full-blown. This was, back at Farpoint. This happened. You were there. The post-apocalyptic court. I mean, they're calling out all the references from our first episode. So we finally have some Star Trek with some definite character building, definite at this point now, before taking Star Trek Continues sort of out of it because it came, chronologically later, time-wise, timeline-wise, right after the original series, but just using the original series. Again, we've talked about it a million times because of the format of the day. It was all episodic. There weren't any reruns there. You couldn't record it. You couldn't go back and watch an episode you missed. So the general audience needed to be able to just pick up Star Trek at any point, sit down, watch an episode, and not be too lost with how things were going. But now it's a horse of a different color as we are able to actually build upon the stories that we've told previously. In doing all of that, this is going to be a great thing for the characters, predominantly the characters. the characters now are going to, and the actors portraying the characters are going to be able to have actual references, emotional responses, historical beats that they can pull from now in their acting for the current episode. You know, if the character goes through a specific like emotional trauma or has some type of response or acts a certain way to certain characters, then you're able to kind of carry that through, continuing to build dynamics among the crew. General opinions about the galaxy at large, whether or not it be, a friendly response, sort of like we saw in the last episode between the Ferengi first officer and Riker. All of those things now are canonically things that can be pulled upon, or pulled from, I should say, in the future. We're off and cooking now. Now we can have a Star Trek that can build. And I always said that was the one thing that I wished. It was not a product of the times, but if there was one thing I could do about the original series is to make it serialized. Now we have it. Really, really great stuff. And of course, I was actually surprised that Riker fell into that like he did. My money was on William T. Riker. Get out of here. I thought for sure that Will would be able to sort of not necessarily resist the temptation or resist Q. I thought he was working on some type of end around, like, oh yeah, I can use these things, but I'm going to use them for our benefit, and he's going to observe it and think that I'm doing this. Nope, it was actually Will thinking and falling into it. And it was Jean-Luc, who is obviously not powered up like the Q or Riker in this one, who was able to outthink them both. And I love that. And it was that display. It was that outthinking that Picard did, and it was the refusal that everybody else did. Genuine refusal. That you were able to go around and everybody, nope, don't want it. Nope, don't want it. Even, of course, Wesley had it really kind of done to him before he had any chance to protest or anything like that. But whenever he had the opportunity, I don't want this. And that the reactions that John Delancey was giving during all of that, where he was sitting there and like looking almost like in disbelief, like he couldn't understand why they weren't accepting these fantastic gifts. Why doesn't Data want to be human? Why doesn't Geordi want to be able to have a natural sight without the artificial, the technology that he uses? And to have all of that refused, not for spite, not because I'm not taking it from him. Now, we had a couple of those. I don't want to thank who it came from, is what Geordi said. But at the same time, the refusal of all of that really was what Wesley said. I want to get there myself. That is the fear of the Q. They know something. This, of course, I'm speculating, but the Q knows something. After that first encounter at Farpoint, they realized, wait a minute, these humans might have something going on that we don't really like. And if we follow this to like a conclusion, maybe they even looked into the future. Who knows? They see us potentially outpacing them. I think that's what it is. Again, it's fear. That's what Jean-Luc said. No. They're worried. They don't like what they see here. They don't like the potential that the humans are showing. I love it though. And I'm sorry too, the entire Napoleonic thing, that is such a throwback to Trelane. I love it. And I can see now finally where all of you said, back when we watched Squire, all of you said, there's the general kind of consensus is that Trelane is one of the Q, one of the continuum. And I just didn't have any like kind of relationship to that other than that they were both fantastically powerful. But then when you have Q in the Marshall outfit, they're playing war, he loves games. Jesus, it's just like Trelane. And I love that. Of course, Roddenberry had to know that this was a reference that would absolutely be made, or a similarity, a comparison that people would look at, especially when you put him in the uniform. Come on. So to me, I think it's like so many of you said, it's just obvious once you start watching The Next Generation and you get more familiar with Q that there is just way too many similarities between Trelane and Q for them not to be the same thing. And I love it. To me, that's confirmation. Let's move on. Now, the one thing I thought was interesting in all of this, and again, it was, we had our trial, we had our success, we had Jean-Luc saying basically, giving Riker a little slap on the wrist there, so you should feel stupid, oh, I feel so foolish. Well, you should absolutely feel that way. I love that. I really, really like that. We saw Worf kind of Worf out, which I loved, as far as him going. They sent him by himself to like scout ahead. Really cool stuff. Nice little beats there. Couple things I didn't like in this episode. I don't know if Tasha was under the effects of Q. That was all sort of like a pantomime that Q was kind of like putting there for the two of them. I don't think it was, though. And I think that was either a directorial choice. I'm thinking it was a directorial choice where they said for Tasha to cry there. And again, this is nothing. I just don't think that from what we've seen before, she's come across as so tough that I don't see in this situation where we need to be able to be reactive. We can't this is almost like, yes, you can be emotional. We're not, practicing logic like the Vulcans here. But if those emotions, I see Tasha Yar as, okay, yes, does she feel like crying? Absolutely. Is she going to smash that shit down until there's a more convenient time to do it? That's what I would have expected from her. Almost like if we would have been privy to a scene where she was completely stoic, got back to her room, and then just kind of collapsed and was like, oh my God, that was awful. That seems more of that. But in the face of a superior, I just don't, that really was it was a weird read on a character I thought that I was reading okay. And I didn't like it. And whether that was like an anomaly that pinged or this is a choice that they're making for the character, I'm going to take note of that since it's serialized, we can build off of this, but I just didn't like the way that panned out. Now, the other thing I both liked and didn't like, I liked for the reasons and the wondering why, and I didn't like because this character was absent, was Troy. Interesting that Q decides to descend upon the Enterprise when she's gone. Now, of course, there's nothing she can do to stop him, but at the same time, I'm wondering if she can read him. And can she read him accurately? Like, if Q wanted to produce a certain emotional state that's false, like he wants her to read anger, but actually he couldn't give a shit, I guess he could do that. I don't know, though. And so now I'm speculating, was this a deliberate choice? Was it just coincidence that she wasn't there? Or did Q see her go and thought, now's the time. Now's the time to make this play. Maybe because of like the Riker-Troy connection, it might be easier to kind of get in with Will, and start all that stuff. I don't know. But I thought that was very interesting. Something that I'm definitely going to watch that in the future. If there are any more, I know that Q comes back. I don't know when, but if there's any more interactions of that nature or any interactions between Q and Troy, I'm very curious about that, friends. But I've talked way too long and we have way too many things to find out that I do not have the answers for. And unfortunately, we have to pull back somebody that has just been probably in the throes of being disciplined by the Continuum right now. So we have to ask and maybe get him out of a spot of trouble here. Q? Greetings, mon capitaine, and welcome to another edition of Q&A. Friends, this is where after having watched and reacted to a Next Generation episode of Star Trek, I like to dig a little bit deeper and find out what went on behind the cameras. Things that if I had looked up before watching the episode likely would have ruined it for me. But to keep myself from wandering off into the weeds for a couple hours, I've given myself 5 categories to explore. The first of which, writer and director, who were they? The second, guest stars, did we have any? The third, of the core cast or the Big Nine, who was present? The fourth and spiciest of the categories, the production notes. What really went on behind the cameras? And last but certainly not least, category 5, a memorable quote from the episode. Let's get started. All right, my dear friends, and for our very first category of writer and director, who did we have? Well, once again, we had 2 writers on this episode. Now, I'm going to give you both names, and I will let you know ahead of time that one of these names is a pseudonym. So, friends, let's see if we can figure out which one it is. The first writer is C.J. Holland. The second one is Gene Roddenberry. And our director for this episode, my friends, is Cliff Bowl. Cliff is returning, and this is his second directorial effort. We're starting to get repeat performers now, friends, as he was also the director for Lonely Among Us. Let's continue. And friends, for our second category of guest stars, did we have any? Did we have any? Yes, we did, my friends. John Delancey starred as none other than Q. Let's continue. And now, friends, for our third category of the core cast, or the Big Nine, who was present? Well, we need to ask the question, who's the Big Nine? We have Picard, we have Riker, we have Troy, we have Geordi, we have Data, we have Worf, we have Tasha Yar, and we have the Crushers, Beverly and Wes. Everyone appeared with the exception of Counselor Troy. Let's move on. And now, my friends, for our fourth category, the spiciest of all the categories, production notes. What went on behind the cameras? Let's look at 5 different things that did in fact incur behind the lenses of Star Trek: The Next Generation. All right, my dear friends, and for our first production note. So in this particular episode, it needed to be heavily rewritten from its original draft. And so this story, as it was produced, was actually given to Maurice Hurley, who was asked to rewrite it. And this was a mission that was given to him specifically by Gene Roddenberry. However, Gene Roddenberry was so disappointed in the rewrite that Maurice Hurley gave that he took it from him and ended up rewriting it so drastically that Hurley requested that his pseudonym of C.J. Holland be used. And thus, that's why when I tongue-in-cheek said which one of these is a pseudonym up in the writer's section between Gene Roddenberry and C.J. Holland is in fact the pseudonym for Maurice Hurley. Let's move on. Now for our second production note, my friends, if you think that this was something that was one and done where Gene Roddenberry was very disappointed in Hurley and everything sort of smoothed out as soon as it was over, yeah, you'd be wrong, because this is the first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and there's a lot going on behind the cameras. And so the way that it was told is, allegedly, as soon as this little dust up over the script occurred, it was Gene Roddenberry who stopped speaking to Maurice Hurley. Now, Hurley was on set all the time. They saw each other 5-6 times a day, and Gene Roddenberry never spoke to him, never acknowledged his presence, never even said hi, according to the stories that were given to me that I was able to basically glean the information of. Across them all, it seems like this moment, for whatever reason, irreparably destroyed their relationship. Let's move on. All right, friends, and for our third production note, and this one is kind of me specific because since I've been watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, I have noticed that my theory was that whenever Counselor Troy was away, it was because it was a necessity from the writer's standpoint. And especially when Q's around, we don't want to have Troy around that could maybe even get something, glean something, learn something about Q that maybe the writers don't want the audience to learn via Troy, or it's just something, it would be easier not to have her around. So I thought whenever I first watched this episode, aha, my theory is correct. Troy isn't around here, and thus we can't have Q and Troy in the same spot. Incorrect. In fact, Deanna had actually had lines up until it was in the final draft. And what ended up happening was whenever the actress Marina Sirtis she had some type of, they rescheduled her day of shooting, and she had a prior commitment that was, I guess, scheduled way before the start of The Next Generation that she had to honor. And so she was unfortunately unable to be in the episode. However, the intent was to have her there. I guess my theory is debunked for now. Let's move on, friends. All right, friends, and for our fourth production note, this one's pretty short, but I thought it was interesting because this is the very first time in the series where LeVar Burton appears without either Geordi's visor or the contact lenses whenever he takes his visor off. These were his real eyes. Friends, let's move on. All right, everybody, and for our fifth and final production note, this one speaks, again, I had to put this one in here because this is a comparative between Q and our original Q, Trelane, in that we had a lot of military details that were thrown into this one. And I thought that I would just clarify that predominantly the iconography that is displayed by Q is from the French Empiric era. It does not include the tricolor flag. We had the triple fleur-de-lis flag in there, which is indicative of the Empiric era of France. And the tricolor, or the common modern flag of France, doesn't appear until after the Revolution. So we see that there is indeed a continued similarity between Q and our buddy Trelane. Let's move on. And now, my friends, for our fifth and final category of this Q&A, a memorable quote from this episode. And friends, this one comes from Riker, and I thought that it was the most apt for this particular moment when he said, "No one has ever offered to turn me into a god before." Thus ends another installment of Q&A. Until such time as you and I get to play with our dear friend Jean-Luc again, behave yourselves.